Welcome back. All right, so welcome back to my testimony series on I was a whole witch and didn't even know it. So last I was talking about how I went like in college was a lot of the breeding ground of the things that I was doing, from meditating to manifesting, and aligning my chakras, my belief in astrology, and how it just continued to grow. And I was so broken, and I was seeking healing, and I was just looking to be healed. I was looking for peace. I was looking for comfort in all the wrong places. And only God could really give me that comfort, truly and honestly. So in that, I was very sad, a lot depressed. I did sage, I would light my candles. I would light my incense around the house. I would just try to smoke it away, try to drink it away. When I drink, I would black out. I become very raging and angry all the time because I was so broken. I was in such a broken place, but I was told, like, if I just keep on being positive and raise my vibrations, and I'll become like this happier person. And in my relationship just kept on getting worse and worse and worse in so many ways. So we ended up breaking up because I just didn't know who I was anymore. I was like, this is not, I don't know, right? And so we broke up, and I had put my whole idea of myself in this man. So when we broke up, it was very devastating. And I remember just smoking a lot, and I didn't even go to like a lot of the chakras to heal and stuff. But before I get into when we broke up, there was one girl who we brought into our relationship. Actually, there was two. The first one, I individually reached out to her, and we had a better connection, and she introduced me to I don't even know some of the things she introduced me to, but like I just knew that, how can I explain it? It was just like a different mindset. So then I started to kind of like look into it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like just like different spiritual beliefs, like, yeah. I really don't remember. Like, I don't know what she did to me, I'm trying to scrub that up. No, but for real. So then the other girl, she shared with me a lot about like the moon and the power of the moon, and like your divinity, like your divine femininity. So then I started learning about divine femininity, which both of them pretty much did share that with me. And this is where I started to be like, I don't need this man. I don't need him, because I'm a powerful woman. I'm a powerful goddess, right? I started to elevate myself onto this level of empowerment, and like, instead of just being like false positive, being like, no, I'm empowered. I'm a woman. I'm great. All these things. And I went into, so after him and I broke up, those girls and I, we didn't talk after that. And I ended up moving. I moved different state. And I bought this, and this is something that I started doing. I started doing research on my own. And I would be on Tinder, just doing all these things. And I know I was taking in a lot of energies from other people, really spirits. And I looked up this thing called Goddess Detox, and I'm gonna share what it is, okay? Because God gave me the revelation on it. So it was this and another thing. So there are two things that like really opened me up to the spirit of divination. So the other things that I was doing were kind of like the breeding ground, if that makes sense. It was kind of like the, I don't know, like the low part of it. But when I did this is what really started to bring forth that witchcraft, in the sense of the spirit of divination. The spirit of divination is witchcraft. And so I bought this goddess detox, and I was learning about how I would have sage. I would sage my house. So when I moved, I saged my house. I had my chakras. I had my crystals. Like I had all those things. I had my, like I said, I went to that one store and I got my little Hindu flags, like the little flags. And they were supposed to bring like peace and good energy into my home. So I hung that up. I hung up my lotus flower. I hung up like all that stuff in my house that were really just like altars to other things, right? It was a lot that I was bringing into my home and letting it just sit in my home. But when I got this detox, I ended up, so I looked it up, and what it is it's like these herbs, and you put it in water and you sit on it. And what it is a steam that goes up into, they call your yoni, right? And so I looked up like a lot about what your yoni is, and understanding that your yoni is like the mother of, it's a goddess of your womb, and how like, basically like this is what I was believing, right? I was believing that, okay, so if I feel depressed, because that what it would tell you was that if you feel depressed or if you feel anxious, that you would do this detox to clear out the negative energy out of your womb, which is the storing house of birthing and your sexual energy. So if you had multiple partners and their toxic energy is stuck inside of you, you want to go and do this. So this is what it would tell me. When I looked it up, it was telling me all this, and I did a lot of research. And they had these pearls, and then they had like a steam. So I did both. I did all of them. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did these things. Okay, like I just did whatever I wanted to do because it was really, again, rebellion. And I was still looking for healing. Like after I got out of that relationship, I was broken, like devastated. And I thought that it was all him. I blamed him for so many things. And, you know, we both had our faults, right? We both had our own things, but I was never going to take accountability of what I did. And I know what I did was wrong. And with him and I, we've had a conversation about that. We've reconciled that there. But I was in this sense of, let me get this out of me. Let me get this guy and these men that I've been with out of me, because I want to start fresh. I want to really be healed. I really want to be whole. And so I did that. Okay, God. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, we thank the Lord for deliverance. We thank the Lord for his healing hand. So I did that, and I like put on music, and I like lit candles, and I used to listen to certain artists that, I'm not gonna say their names, but I listen to certain artists that really, their music is like an enchantment. Like the spirits that they had, music, people don't understand that music is really a whole portal in music that can shift you into another dynamic. So really be paying attention to what music you listen to. So the music I listened to when I did it, and the candles and the incense and all this stuff, and then like I just meditated and like was like believing that it was going into me. So yeah, craziness. And in the steaming, it was like I felt like my body feel like it was like this sensation that came over my body, and I was like, oh, it's working. Oh, it's working. And I was so depressed, bro. Like, oh my gosh. So again, I was on Tinder, like dating these different guys, like going out on dates and stuff. And I was trying to I was like, you know what? I don't want to be just going out with like whoever. I want to really like kind of settle down now. Like, I think I'm healed. I think I've done this healing process. I think I'm healed now. Oh my gosh. And I met this guy, and I don't know now, even looking back on it, and as I'm saying this, there's something, okay. Whew. God is so good, because even as I'm saying this, like, the revelation I'm getting about this is crazy. So this man lived in New Jersey, okay, and we matched on Tinder, and he drove from New Jersey down to where I lived, which Florida, like, drove, and literally drove for me. Like, and you know, he was in a relationship, so he just got out of a relationship. I don't know if like there was some sort of like, there had to have been some sort of demon that like in a sense that attracted us together. Because when we you know, I remember feeling like when you say a soul tie, this was a soul tie that I had never experienced before in my life, like ever. And because even in the midst of, even in that time, like we connected really, really well, but we like, I'm telling you, this man, and he would like, he ended up going like other places. And this isn't about relationships, because that could be a whole other series in itself. But he went over there, and I'm convinced that at some point in that goddess detox, I had conjured up like another like spirit inside of me. And so like he was like drawn to me, like we like connected. So even to the point where he would leave and he would go like with other people, like another person, and I was like crazy. Like I would go crazy. And that was not like me. I was not like that prior to him. So that was really weird. And I was like, you know, guys ain't it, like, you know, bump him, like, whatever. And again, at the time, I didn't see it that way. Now I just have the revelation that, like, how that all happened. Yeah, so be careful what you get yourself into. And I was just like, again, I was still broken, still hurt, and all the above. And I ended up with this guy out there, sweet guy, like genuinely a very sweet, kind man. But you know, he had his own thing. So I was taking on a lot of people's issues. Like it was almost like their problems were coming onto me. They were like, they would tell me all about their lives, like all this stuff. And so then I would just like, whatever, like I was like love them. And it was like a really confusing time for me as I think about it, because I think like whatever I was doing was clearly affecting how like men were attracting to me. Whatever I was doing, like the things that I was doing, the chakras and the goddess detox, it was like after that, like men would be like drawn to me and would like stick with me. Like they would like real bad, like every single one. Like even I'm really like thinking about like this is like in the moment revelation. Like there are men who, when I would connect with them and I would hook up with them, like I was very promiscuous. And again, that's a whole other thing. Perversion really came into my life. But like every time they would like be like kind of obsessed with me in a sense. And like I'm looking back at this like, that's crazy. That goddess detox really did that to me. Not saying that like, I think there was an allure. There was like a drawing that it did inside of me from the men, to those men. And then manipulation. So like I would manipulate them. So to the point where like they would get me whatever I wanted. It was literally like I was a goddess, quote unquote, right? Like where whatever I wanted, they would give it to me. If I wanted to go out, we wanted to do stuff, they would give it to me, like every single one of them. And then this last one, same thing. He would like hype me up, give me all this gift, all this stuff. Like he would just give me stuff. And like really like I'm having on-time revelation. Like that's crazy. Like, yeah, that's really crazy. And I was loving it. It was like hyping me up. Like it was like I felt like I was having peace. It was like I was feeling at peace, and I was I was on top of the world. Like you couldn't tell me what to do. Like you couldn't, like I could get any man I wanted to. Like, what's up? So if you wasn't acting right, now I'm gonna go get another man. So now it was literally like I was in control of these guys. But I wanted love. Like I was like, I wanted love in all the wrong places. And my healing, I felt like I was becoming more healed. I was like, okay, I feel good. I would still be a little anxious. And when I would take on these other guys' energies, I would literally be like more anxious. And I'm like, nah, I can't be with him because his energy, it was like I knew things about them. Now I'm starting to become like more aware of who I'm around and their energies. And then that like, it was, I don't know. I dived into a whole nother realm that I didn't even, like, even looking back on, like, I know I was like operating in the spirit and I didn't know what I knew. I didn't know what I knew. It wasn't like I was like, oh, okay. You know how, so there's some where like witches will be like, they'll know what they're doing. Like they'll know that they have this love spell and all this stuff. I was ignorant to the demonic realm. I was ignorant to the devices and the way the enemy uses these things to give you illegal access into the realm of the spirit. So I had illegal access to the realm of the spirit, but I didn't understand that me knowing these things were a gift that was already inside of me that the enemy perverted very clearly. So my kind of like last point. So then I went to this meditation thing. And again, because I was already meditating, I was already doing yoga, so it was like nothing new for me. So I'd go find a yoga class because I wanted to get more active. And I was in a relationship at this time. And again, this man would buy me everything. We would go out, we would do all these things. So like I was good. I had my man, I was good. Like I was happy. But I was still like sad on the inside, anxious on the inside. So I went to my yoga and there was this meditation class. It was a free meditation class. And it was linked to inner healing. And there they had these sound bowls, which I had already had a sound bowl. So like I would meditate and I taught him how to do it. Like I would meditate and we would like, we would put on the meditation music and I would meditate and we would like feel like enlightened, all this good stuff. And when I went to this meditation class, they had bigger sound bowls, like they were huge. And it opened me up to a whole nother level of the sound bowls because each sound bowl had a different frequency. And that different frequency would affect your chakras. It would affect you. So what they would say with it would align you in the right space to get your mind to be clear, to open up your third eye, to open up your heart chakra, to love more deeply, and to open up your root chakra to release all that sexual energy that was from those past relationships. So they would have different ones and they would meditate. And there was one that I did where she like led us through this meditation and it was for inner child healing. And when she led me through, I literally had a vision of myself like running and into like a field and all this stuff looking for this root chakra. And she was leading me through this like thing, and she was using the sound bowl. But what was happening, literally the spirit of divination was coming inside of me. It was finding root into the void of my into my inner child. And so the child that was hurt and wounded from a young age was literally being taken over and possessed by the spirit of divination that would wrap around me and choke me out, and fear grip me, and all these things grip me.